Greg, let's talk about your setup, your drum placement, your tuning.
Thank you, Rick. I sure will. And this kit is such a cool 6-ply maple kit. It's a Dixon Quetzal Blue, which is named after a bird, Quetzal or Quetzal. And got a 22-inch kick drum, a 12-inch rack, and a 16-inch floor. And this is one of my signature snare drums right here.
It's beautiful.
It's a hammered snare. And then, Travis, do we still have the other steel snare too? Yeah, and then we have also got this cool blue acrylic snare drum, and these are Cornerstone, Dixon Cornerstone, and just fantastic drums. Dixon are my favorite drums in the world, and I just love thin maple shells. They make all kinds of wood and all kinds of finishes. This is not a wrap either. It's not like a plastic wrap. This is lacquer. High-end lacquer, and these cool wood hoops on the bass drum. I'm just going to kind of tweak an angle. They have their own kind of, it's almost like the old rims thing, but it's not rims. It's Dixon's own way of suspending the drums, so they really sound great. Like these are all finger tightened right now. But
So you like to start out with finger tightened?
Yeah, we'll start with finger tightened, and then we'll go to. What I do, Rick, is I just like to go by ear. You know, I'll take this drum, the 12.
Yep.
And I'll put it on my knee.
Yep.
Right here.
So you deaden the bottom head.
So you deaden the bottom heads.
Yep.
And I'll just kind of put my finger in the middle of the head to kind of create a node, so I'm not hearing every lug. What I'll also do is I'll tap the shell and see where the shell seems to want to sound. And then if you get the top head and the bottom head to the same pitch, and it's the pitch of the shell, it's going to be like, doom. Say you tap the shell with maybe no heads on it, just holding it with no heads in your hand. Doom. You tune that top head to all the way around, flip it, do the same on the bottom head. Once that top head and the bottom head are and that's in with the pitch of the shell, it's going to just do.
And that works beautifully with single ply heads.
It works beautifully with single ply heads,
yes,
exactly.
That's right.
And you can always deaden up a drum, but you can't get a dead drum to ring. So
exactly.
I brought some tea towels, like the Ringo tea towels, right?
Yep.
We got the tea towels here, and I've got this cool big fat snare drum and mute for the snare.
Yep.
But we'll go over a bunch of this stuff. So let me just kind of tweak around a little bit, again by ear. You mentioned, do I use a drum dial? I kind of just go old school, kind of by ear. And then, again, some people say, do you want the top head tighter or the bottom head tighter? Because if you do want to well, obviously you put the top head doop and the bottom head doop, and it'll do. But I, again, want it just do.
Yeah, it's nice straight tone.
Yeah, and then you can deaden it the way you want.
Yep.
Grab one of my signature Vic Firth backbeat sticks.
Okay, what size are those?
These are kind of like, it's my own design, but it's sort of a design I worked on with Vic before he passed away. Kind of a 5B with a beefed up neck, because I found myself cracking sticks on the shoulder, so it's that. But I'll leave these with you also. Oh, already in there. I will always try to turn the snares off when I'm tuning the toms, just so you don't hear that sympathetic ring. Let's see what that sounds like. Up here, come on!
Beautiful. Okay, so floor tom.
Yeah, so the floor tom, I've got the bottom head, and I kind of prefer
16 by 16, right?
16 by 16 floor. Again, thin maple shells. I've got the bottom head on my thigh here.
Once again, starting finger tightened.
Yeah, finger tightening and putting the finger in the middle of the drum head to kind of isolate the pitch of each And I kind of go all by ear. I do like to get the floor tom about as low as I think it's going to go. And you don't want wrinkles in it. You don't want, the head to be so loose that it's got wrinkles. It's going to go out of tune quicker. And these are Remo coated ambassadors. And then I get the clears on the bottom. The bottom's a lot higher now. So again, we're going to try to match the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And you like the combination of the coated heads on the top and clear on the bottom, right?
Yes, I do. I like the coated heads.
Because why?
Well, I was talking to John Good years ago, and when John was the tech for Jonathan Moffat with the Jacksons, and also with Chad Wackerman with Zappa, and he just said, there's a little bit of he said clear heads are always very true, but when you put coating on a white coated head, there's a little bit of like a sandpaper kind of a, and this is getting really in the weeds here, but there's when the stick hits, and I use sticks with not plastic tips, I like wood tips, so you're hitting that stick on a sandpapery type of white head, and it's a little bit more attack.
It just has a tone when you because of the texture.
Yes. And also it kind of, I think the coating, and this is just my take on it, I'm not a drumhead specialist, but it kind of evens out any imperfections, when you've got that little coat. And I go through all kinds of different, sometimes I'll do a little paper towel and gaffer tape. And I remember going to see Jeff Porcaro in the studio, and I'd see his kind of cool baffle that he would make with gaffer tape. He'd take a piece of gaffer tape and put it on his drum and do this kind of thing. And I just thought, wow, this is so cool. It just looked cool. Whether it worked or not, I don't know. But he'd go like this, and go like that, and then put a little bit of
a fold in it.
Fold in it, so it looked like kind of like a gobo or something. Yeah.
Like that.
And that also helps when the drum is that low. It helps take a little bit of the boing out of it.
Yep.
So there's that way of doing it. A little bit of a boing right now, but check it out. The Ringo tea towel thing, Ringo says, I'm the tea towel guy. That come together, right? Up on the roof at Get Back. We'll try to take that out. This is where you just kind of fine tune by ear. I'm loving that. Let's go kick drum. I love that. And thank you for your towel. This is from Travis's own home. This towel here came from. He needs to get the bass drum pillow back, I think.
And you like to get those heads pretty loose, right?
I can, yeah.
Once again, barely where they're just taking the wrinkles out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we spoke last time about how Buddy Rich and John Bonham kind of had similar tones to their drums, and there was nothing in the bass drum except maybe a couple felt strips.
That's right.
But this, the way I like to have my kick drum is with a pillow inside, touching both heads. And then I know if I'm playing an Afro-Cuban tune, it's not going to go boing, and it's not going to go boom. If I'm playing an R&B tune, it's going to have that punch, but it's going to have some tone to it also. So as low as I can get this, but without the wrinkles. And I tuned the other head also pretty low too, but without wrinkles. And then just see how that sounds once I tweak that out. Front head. Okay. And then some people like to have the hard plastic side on the bass drum beater. Some like to flip it and have the felt side. Depends on what you're doing. If you're doing kind of a light bebop thing, say you crank it, or you've got it really sort of like Roy Haynes, you could flip this and put the felt beater on and have that boom, boom, boom. Or some people that feather the bass drum on all four when they're playing swing. So for the most part,
you're using the plastic beaters.
For the most part, I have the plastic beater, yeah. And I'm kind of putting that up here, and then we'll mess with that in a minute. So we got that as low as it'll go without wrinkles. Let's do that to the front head now. And for those of you who don't know, rather than just a big corporate Acme drums, what I love about this logo is this is a cool look, but there's a D and an I and an X and an O and an N in there.
Look at that.
So that's Dixon, and you can have your own style to it. You know, it doesn't look like you're playing Acme or, you know, Billy Bob's drums. It's just, this is you.
And what are you listening for here, Greg?
I'm just right now trying to get this head, for me anyway, as low as I can without wrinkles. Just because I love a big fat sound on my kick.